Would it be possible for this wildly known photograph to be real? Can this image really have been taken hundreds of feet above the ground in Manhattan by a photographer? You've probably seen this picture many times before. You may have even seen it hanging at a restaurant. This image became an icon of the 20th century American photography. It was taken in September 1932, and it shows 11 iron workers, the unsung heroes of construction, sitting on a beam, eating lunch about 800 feet above an urban abyss. And although it seems to be photojournalism, it is not, because they're taking part in a publicity stunt. For those who are new to Art Plus and love photography, subscribe to our channel as we continuously upload photography analysis videos like this one. There were multiple photographs taken as a publicity for the construction of Rockefeller Center, many of them taken that same day. The construction site, the RCA building, now called the GE building. A pillar of hope was under construction. The Art Deco skyscraper that would come to be known as 30 Rockefeller Plaza. According to an article of the New York Times, the shot, quote, isn't atop the Empire State Building despite common misperceptions, misrepresentations, and an internet that insists otherwise, unquote. During the intrepid photo shoot, the workmen humored the photographers, taking their hats off, looking proud of themselves, showing a sense of accomplishment. In this other image, they seem to be taking a relaxing nap on a beam approximately 60 floors in the air. But the most famous of them all forever will be this one, in which they're eating lunch casually as if they were sitting on a bench at a park. Only instead, their feet are dangling hundreds of meters above the Manhattan skyline. What do we see in this picture? We can see Central Park in the background, 11 probably Italian, Irish, and Indian construction workers, of whom only 2 of them could be identified by filmmaker Sean O'Cullen, who did a documentary called Men at Lunch. It's easy to think this picture was staged, because who would sit on a beam at a height with no safety equipment? But that's nowadays, with our idea of safety precautions. But in 1932, during the Great Depression, people were capable of doing anything to get a job, even if it meant risking their lives. Through his documentary, O'Cullen confirms that the photograph is real and not a darkroom trick, as speculated. It was nearly impossible at the time to hang a huge print of the skyline behind the workers or to combine it in the darkroom as we do nowadays using Photoshop. The attitude of these workers, their disregard and indifference to the risks that they're taking is what makes this image so powerful. Once you glaze at it, it is almost impossible to forget about it. And the question is, who was the photographer? There were a couple present that day, William Lethwich, Charles Evetts, and Thomas Kelly. And it is yet unknown who of these 3 captured this iconic image. Still, we can see them alongside the workers, also risking their lives as if they were thinking something like, if these guys can walk on beams, so can we. We are also here to take a risk. The image lives as a testament to New York City's vertical expansion and the positive attitude towards the future, towards America and business despite the Great Depression. What else do we know about it? Some would say there are so many unknowns. Who was the photographer? Who are these men? They could be anybody. Some claim they're their uncle, their father. Still, nobody knows for sure. This image first appeared in the New York Herald Tribune on October 2nd, 1932, and it generated a big amount of excitement about what was going on. They were getting as much publicity as they possibly could. Rockefeller put 250,000 people's work in the middle of the Depression. These workers are immortalized in this picture. The unknown workers who risked their lives building this iconic building.